All right, so we know we're going to be playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. Welcome to the Eastern Conference Final for the second year running. We're in the Eastern Conference Final, playing a new opponent this time, an American-based team just to the south of us in Florida, in Tampa, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they have Artemi Panarin. So I'm not looking forward to this. This is a team. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look at everyone's overall rating, because I think that's the easiest way to go. So we've got a 35-year-old Artemi Panarin, 89 overall, first line forward, 5 goals, 11 assists in 10 playoff games. So he's having a pretty good, first couple of rounds in the playoffs. 10 games. So I don't know what Tampa's run to the Eastern Conference Final is. I think we looked at that in the last recording session I did, but it's been a long time since I did that recording session, so I can't remember what Tampa's record is, but they have to have played at least 10 games based on Artemi Panarin's stats. And then there's Braden Point, first line forward, 90 overall, 6 goals, 6 assists, so not too bad there. Really decent there for Braden Point, probably on the first line with Artemi Panarin. Victor Hedman, your elite top pairing defenseman, 3 goals from the back end is not bad through 10 games played. And Nikita Kucherov still here, 33 years old, so this is an older Tampa team. This is an older Tampa team at this point. And through 10 games, 4 goals, 7 assists. Ryan Strome, 33 years old as well, 2 goals, 7 assists through 10 games played at 84 overall. Andreas Athanasiou, 32 years old, 82 overall. Mikhail Sergachev, right in his prime, I would assume, 1 goal, 7 assists in 10 games. Elite top pairing defenseman as well, probably paired with Hedman, 88 overall. And Aaron Ekblad, that's right, Aaron Ekblad has switched teams in Florida, so he went from South Florida to North Florida to join the Lightning. He has 3 goals, 4 assists in 10 games, 89 overall. This is a really stacked team so far. I am so nervous. And they've got an older Nino Niederreiter, 2 goals, 5 assists in 10 games. He's 34 years old at this point. And Jason Dickinson at 31 years old, probably playing in that middle to bottom 6. Eli Tolvanen, the former Predator, elite potential player. Look at that, 89 overall. So he has really developed well in this universe. And the man that Leafs fans hate forever, Nick Paul. This guy basically ended the Leafs season a couple of years ago. And Blake Wheeler, at 40 years of age, is still 84 overall. So he can clearly still get it done with the Tampa Bay Lightning, probably a third-line guy. And Robbie Fabry, 87 overall. This is a really decent team in terms of overall rating, top to bottom. And Evgeny Kuznetsov as well, 35 years old, but still 84 overall. Eric Robinson and the other Eric Chernak, Oli Ulivi, Cody Ceci, and of course, tending the net on the other side of the rink from me, Andrei Vasilevskiy. This is purely one of the best goaltenders in the whole league. It has to be the best goalie. He's 94 overall in the game. He has a 905 through 10 games played. He has 8 wins. So 3.04 goals against average. So not amazing numbers from the Tendy for the Tampa Bay Lightning. But if Tampa's chances of making the Cup final, they're going to ride on this man right here. And Lucas Dostal is backing up Vasilevskiy. So if we can get the Vasilevskiy, we might be seeing a little bit of Lucas Dostal in this series, but who knows? We've got our work cut out for us against a very stellar Tampa Bay Lightning team. There's a reason they are in the conference final. But there's also a reason why we are in the conference final, and I want to show up in this series. I got to put together my best work, an 8-2 Tampa team versus an 8-1 Carolina team. This is a true battle of the giants in the NHL. The 2 best teams, hands down, left in the Eastern Conference are going to battle it out for the right to play for the Stanley Cup. And we want to make another Stanley Cup final. It would be a second consecutive final appearance. We came up short last year. I don't want to let anything get in the way of that again. No less a stacked Tampa Bay Lightning team. Well, ladies and germs, welcome back to the Eastern Conference Final. For the second year running, we have made it all the way to the third round And this is the biggest task so far in the playoffs. This is a super stacked, super team in Tampa Bay. We looked through everyone on this Tampa Bay roster that's played playoff games from top to bottom before this episode started, and this Tampa team is stacked. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like it. There isn't even a player, I think, barely below 80 overall, and most of their depth guys are like mid-80s in overall rating. Not to mention, I have to outduel Andrei Vasilevsky. I'm going to come out and play the puck. I'm going to get an... Oh, no! Oh, no. I'm going to come hug Kucherov. I'm taunting him. You are not going to get... I cannot believe that. And they show Sergachev for some reason. What a fluke of a play. Well, that's a lesson learned. Don't ever do this again, Vince. This is... Oh, and I give it right to the captain. Right off the Tampa logo, off the chest. You won't score an easier freaking goal than the one I just gave up. Look, dude, it's going to be hard enough to keep the puck out of the back of the net in this entire series. I don't need to be giving away freebies. There's not going to be a goal scored any easier in this series for the Tampa Bay Lightning than the one that they just got. That's a total and complete knee slapper of a goal. I'm not going to lift that play down. And it just came out of my complete angst to play the puck. I had to just touch the puck, didn't I? I just had to throw it down the ice, and that's what I get for doing that. It's like a kid in a little candy store. You want to reach and grab every piece of candy on the shelves. Well, it's the same way when the puck slides down here. I can't help it. I got to go out there. I got to touch it. I got to get my touches in early in a game. Hey, if that's the only one that goes past, I can live with that. I can live with that little mistake, if that's the only mistake that beats me tonight. Now, you guys have got to get going on the offensive side of the puck and make up for my mistake. Just make up for it for me. Look at it this way. If I rob a goal, oh my God, that was... I'm not sure that I trust the puck physics tonight because they have not been very fortunate. They were on that last play, big save on Ekblad. But I look at it this way. If I steal a save, in other words, if I make a save on a shot that should be a surefire goal, then that makes up for the fluky one in a certain sense, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to make it make sense in my head. Basically, what it boils down to is the goal should have never happened. And it's going to be in the back of my mind for quite a bit in this game. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? By the time we end this game, depending on how this game plays out, I may get back to the end of game screen, menu screen, and I'll have completely forgotten all about the Kucherov goal, or whoever scored it. It was Kucherov, right? That'll be Blake Wheeler. He's hunting for one. He's going to come down the half wall to Ekblad, who's going to be extremely dangerous from the point. All right, there we go. And we will freeze play here. Oh, please get it. I'd say we've rebounded pretty decently with my little mistake. I know all the Hurricanes fans in the arena, they've got their chirps laid out for me. Oh, what a goal by Morrissey. He's going to pick a spot on Vasilevsky. Well, it took Josh Morrissey 3 rounds to finally get on the score sheet with a goal, and it comes at a very timely time. A timely time? It comes at a great time. Let's just say that instead. It comes at a great time. Halfway through the first period, it's going to knock things at 1, and I can already start to forget a little bit about that mistake because it's an even hockey game once again, and we have an opportunity to come in here and take the lead. So what's going to be hard about Tampa is this is a team that... Oh, nice save. I was moving around in the butterfly. But the thing about Tampa is they kind of remind me of Edmonton last year. If we can just get through Tampa Bay, well, you know, Edmonton's still in the playoffs, aren't they? But if we can just get through Tampa Bay, I think I like our chances. I think we've got a very solid chance. It's just we got to win 4 games against this team. That's the main thing. Win 4 games and don't be the culprit of any dumb mistakes. Winning 4 games is hard to do. And you've got Kucherov. You've got Panarin, you've got Ekblad, you've got Hedman on the ice surface, all of these guys on the ice surface, all at any one time. And can we get some extended possession? We've hit the post. I knew that at some point we were bound to meet the Tampa Bay Lightning in the playoffs. It was only a matter of time before these two teams faced off against each other. I thought it might happen, I think, last season. There was an opportunity to have met Tampa in the playoffs last year, if I remember correctly. But it ended up being Ottawa this time last season. We met Ottawa in round 3 last year. If you remember that series, it was very high scoring, especially the first couple of games in that series. It was extremely high scoring. And so far, this game has been pretty chill in terms of goals scored. We'll see how the game plays out, of course. These are the third and second best teams left in the playoffs. And that's out of play. It's going to go into... Did it go into my net? I don't want to see the puck go into my net, even if it doesn't count. But yeah, these are the third and second best teams left in the playoffs. So that begs the question of who is the best team left in the playoffs. Is it Edmonton? It's going to be based on standings. There's not really points. So the game is going to base it around standings, I think. And I would venture a guess. It's probably Edmonton. And they're a very dangerous team who are poised to make another run to the Stanley Cup final. Again, I would so love to get revenge on Edmonton for last season. And they don't have Jack Campbell anymore. They don't even have Campbell anymore. They still have McDavid, obviously. Probably still have Draisaitl. But I can't tell you who's on that roster because I haven't looked on that roster. And we won't be looking at their roster unless they make the Stanley Cup final against us. I am very curious to see who Edmonton has kept around from last year's Cup win. Was Blake Wheeler on that Edmonton team last year? I can't even remember the roster for the Edmonton Oilers last season. I think the players that gave us the biggest problem was the first line with obviously McDavid and Draisaitl. I think were they not on the same line together last season? They gave us the biggest problem in the Stanley Cup final last year. And there was another player that his name escapes my brain right now who was, I think, on the second line for the Edmonton Oilers last year. You'll have to go back and watch the series to find out who the player was. But there was another player that gave us some troubles, and I'm just mildly curious if some of those players are still there. I would imagine Draisaitl and McDavid are still there. But the first period is going to come to a close, and we won't give up another goal before the first 20 minutes expires. We got a tightly contested one here in Raleigh to open Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Morrissey's goal here has tied it at 1. Well, I start this second period with great enthusiasm. I could be even more enthusiastic because had I not given up the goal to Kucherov, we could be, having a donut on. I'm not going to say anything other than there could be a donut beside the Tampa Bay Lightning logo right now. There should be a 0, and that's not going to be a shot on net, so freaking out for no reason. Jonathan Drouin tenacious into the glove of Vasilevsky. And out to Artemi Panarin. So weird to see Panarin in a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey. And he's going to be one of the catalysts for the offense for the Lightning. So we want to be paying full attention when he has the puck on his stick blade. And Kucherov, the goal scorer, although by great fortune, he has that first goal of the game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He should not have it. I make dumb mistakes. I tend to learn lessons after I make dumb mistakes. In some sense or another, anyway. Kucherov a dump in. And I've slowed it down very briefly. Now tell me that Tampa Bay didn't get it back because I was not in my net. I can't afford to have two dumb mistakes, giving Tampa a wide open net to shoot on. Uh-oh. Oh my, that was weird. It got blocked through a screen. And that was not just anyone shooting it. It's Panarin. The last thing you want to do is have Panarin shoot it where you can't see the puck. What a great give and go, but they just ran out of time and space. Would have liked to see the AI convert on that passing sequence we just had. Ekblad, that's going to be a fight. Josh Morrissey. Is Ekblad injured? He is, and now he's hobbling around. He's running into Meyer. He's going chaotic. Beside the Tampa Bay bench, we've got Sergachev throwing him with Josh Morrissey. And Morrissey has been taken down. Well, clearly Aaron Ekblad is injured from that hit, and that is a huge loss. If he is gone from the game, could perhaps be gone from the series. Not that I'm cheering that on, but he could be gone from the series if it's a serious enough injury. Saranac down low to Fabry. And they will be losing a big piece offensively from the back end as well on Ekblad. It's to our benefit. It is to our benefit to not have Ekblad on the ice. It's just one less threat I have to deal with. But yeah, I'm obviously I'm not cheering that on, but it was a clean hit in my mind. There's no penalty called on the ice for the hit. Just the only penalties were fighting majors. See, Josh Morrissey, he may just be a tactical genius, taking Aaron Ekblad out of the series, maybe out of the game. Now be paying attention for if Ekblad does return to the game. So we'll be seeing his name underneath the player, and you'll be seeing the number 6 on the ice. So if you see a number 6 on the ice surface, that's taken away. That was bad. That was bad goaltending by me. Lindell took it away and helped me out. Oh, no. You guys are just being dumb right now. I mean, how they didn't come away with a goal just a second ago is beyond my understanding. I don't see an Ekblad on the ice for now, but I don't know what side of the ice he would play. Is he a left defenseman or a right defenseman for the Tampa Bay Lightning? Someone just dump it in and see who goes back to retrieve. It's Hedman paired with Cernak, I think. And I think Ekblad would be top pairing guy. I don't know who he was paired with earlier in the game. And I've taken another whistle out of safety. No point. You're not getting in here. Ekblad will have he has an X factor, I'm pretty sure. So that's a goal for Kucherov. I was hinged on the post. This is an awkward play because it's off the faceoff. I think it's a turnover that comes off the faceoff. Yes, Lindell gets it. Kucherov, give credit to him because he does a lot of hard work to create the turnover. And then I get hinged right on the post as this is happening. I start to hinge on the post, and then just roofed it right off the post and in. And you don't blame. I wouldn't blame a goaltender on this one. You can't blame me for this one. Yeah, Nikita Kucherov is going to be something of a problem in this series. He's got 2 goals in this game. Now, again, one was a total gift. Let's not give him an easy hat trick here. I said it was a miracle that we didn't get scored on in the sequence that happened just before the Kucherov second goal of the game. And then, lo and behold, we go ahead and get scored on anyway. It really should just be 1 goal against me for right now. It should be. I wouldn't hold my breath on that being the last goal that Tampa scores in this game. I really wouldn't hold my breath on that. That would obviously be the objective, is to limit Tampa to just these 2 goals that they've scored. That's a task in and of itself. I gotta say, though, this game is going by pretty quickly, and I've seen a relatively decent amount of action. It's been a very physical game between both of these teams. See Blake Wheeler to Fabry, drop pass intended. Wow, I don't know how my goalie saw that, but I'm glad he did. See, my goalie's stepping up when he needs to. He's doing the right things to make the simple saves when he needs to make them. It's up to me, the guy holding the controller, doing all the controlling, to not make stupid fluff mistakes, like flinging the puck into the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning and giving him a freebie into an empty net. There's a penalty called at center ice. It's going to be against Tampa Bay. It looked to be a slash. That is the confirmation from the referee. It's Ryan Strome. And this is the first penalty that's been called in the game. It's taken this long to get the first penalty in game 1. And this will basically be a power play. Unless you score really quickly on it, this should be a power play that takes us to the intermission. We may just score pretty quickly on this. We need this as well because we need to get the game tied. Feels kind of like Tampa Bay took a little bit of the momentum back by scoring that second goal of the game. We've been struggling to get the momentum in our favor since then. We've already wasted a half of a minute on the power play. I'm pretty sure I get a chance to play this. Now, I'm going to be actually pretty smart with this one. Who is that on the ice? Number 5. That's not a 6. Ekblad wears 6 for Tampa Bay. Rebound. Vasilevsky is on all 3 of those opportunities. Yeah, he shouldn't be 1 goal away from a hat trick because one of them was basically an empty netter. But they all count the same, right? Goaltender needs to just not make a mistake. Sergachev. And it is going to be flown down the ice. I'm just going to skate, just get my exercise. Lost a minute and a half on the power play, which has had some chances to score. We've seen 3 brilliant saves in a row from Vasilevsky. I got it. Rimming it up the glass and hoping someone's there. It is. Meyer's there. You got to hustle now. The power play is clearly not going to score. If we do score, it's not going to be a power play goal. See, now we're running into a really good team now. This is what happens. We're running into our first real test of the whole playoffs. Boston was not a test. Columbus was not enough of a test. Tampa is going to be a test. And we got to pass the exam. It's the same case. I'm just not seeing enough shots from the AI opponent. And they are still an Aaron Ekblad-less Tampa Bay Lightning team. Now, this could be just a short-term injury. We don't know the extent of the injury, and we won't know unless we come into Game 2 and he's not in the lineup for Game 2. Then we will know it's probably an extensive injury that will require him to probably miss the whole series. Now, I'm not saying that I necessarily hope that's the case, but if he does happen to miss the rest of the series, that's going to work in our benefit. That's a big loss for Tampa Bay as well. Josh Morrissey scores! It goes in on a fluky bounce, but he has the second goal of the game for the Carolina Hurricanes. So we've got 2 goal scorers exclusively for each team. We've got 1 goal scorer for Tampa Bay. It's Kucherov, 1 goal scorer for Morrissey. He has both goals for Carolina. You see the way it goes in. A little bit of pinball wizardry from number 44, Josh Morrissey. He's got the game knotted up again. And guess what? I got an assist on that. So give me a playoff point for assisting on Josh Morrissey's second of the night. Getting a little helper in there. This is just going to be the Kucherov-Morrissey battle. That's what this game will be known as. Who can score last? If I can keep myself composed and controlled, we can prevent Kucherov from scoring again. That was a big hit for Panarin, and he is going to get up from it. Now, they can't afford to also lose Panarin and Ekblad, and Josh Morrissey remains out there. What is the recipe? What do you have cooking up for us, Josh? That Sergachev's just skating right through the Hurricanes' defense, dropped off to Fabry. Oh! I didn't do that. That was my goaltender. That was my goaltender automatically standing up and deciding to play that. I was about to drop and do paddle down, and then he decided to stand up on his own. I hate when the game just decides to automatically do some things for you. It's kind of like the whole seated animation. The game automatically does that for you. The game decided to automatically play the puck for me on that last sequence, and I had no control over it. I kind of panicked, to be honest, which I guess anyone would panic on that play. Oh, it's there. It ended up on Domi's stick. He didn't make it go. We have tightened up through the neutral zone, so Tampa's dumped it in quite a bit lately, but they won't dump it in this time. They probably should have dumped that puck in. Yarncrow will dump it in for the Hurricanes, so we've decided to play the dump and chase game. Meyer to Yarncrow. Morrissey will skate it through center. Can he score 3 in the game? A hat trick for a defenseman would be very impressive, although somewhat improbable. Not a very likely chance of seeing that happen in this game, but you never know. Things are really getting tight. This is a point in the game where both goaltenders are really going to have to start dueling. They're going to duel. I'm going to duel with Vasilevsky. I mean, we're at a point in the game where the next goal is really big. Obviously, I don't think that needs to be stated, but you're at a point where the game's running later, and the next goal could very well be the game winner. I got to hold on to this. I just have to. I'm just trying to be very patient when it ends up on my pad, and you see the problem there. 1 shot for Tampa Bay in this period. I mean, I guess I could have worse problems than just seeing 1 shot, but in order to recoup some save percentage, we're going to need to see, a good 5 or 6 more. That's going to be an icing. Yes, it is. Probably not going to get back some save percentage out of this game. Just depending on, even if I just limit it to the 2 goals against. But I don't know how this last 5.5 minutes is going to play out. I don't know if this is going to go to overtime. Overtime in a playoff game is absolutely heart-pounding stuff. And I asked for a shot, and I got it. It was a short side bid, and now we are definitely in next goal wins territory, are we not? Cody Ceci, Svetch will peel away with the puck. That was a fortunate break there. Natchez to the circle, and Vasilevsky will paw it down, and that was a pretty late whistle. Blake Wheeler will push it ahead, looking to go for Tampa Bay. Oh, we should have cradled the puck on that, but our guys are going to get to it first. That was a really big rebound coming off the chest. My experience is the chest usually doesn't give up big rebounds like that, especially if you've ever goaltended in real life. My chest protector that I wear absorbs pucks. It doesn't give up rebounds like that. A minute 19 in regulation. Is this game going to see overtime? Game 1 of a series going to overtime? Game 1 of an Eastern Conference Final series in Raleigh going to overtime against a team from Florida. Hey, we were just there a few months ago. I was in attendance for that game. I thought the game had ended. Is that a penalty? That's not a penalty. I was in attendance for that game. I left early because I really thought the goal had stood. There was no clarification at first that they were reviewing it. Everyone just kind of walked out the building, so I followed everyone out. And then we stood outside and watched the game on a monitor outside the arena. I'm talking about game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final against Florida this past May, or whatever month it took place. I think it was in May a couple months ago. And that the game that went to 4 overtime. I'm glad I didn't stay for the 4 overtime because I had to get up early and go to work the next day. I came back home, I sat and watched it on TV, and I was so tired the next day. And this game, barring something crazy, is going to go to overtime. Well, despite the fact it's been a very lopsided offensive affair for in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes, 38 shots to just 15. And number 16 almost went in the net, so I would not have appreciated that. 38 shots to now 16, amend that, and yet the game is tied at 2-2. It's in overtime right now. We're just back and forth. This is east to west hockey. We need to go north-south with the puck right here. That would be preferential. Is this going to be a long overtime game, or is this going to be ended pretty quickly? I don't have the answer to that. I have balls, but none of them is crystal. It's going to be punched back in toward the Tampa zone. Saranac, right up to Panarin. And boy, would Tampa probably wish they had, that was Kucherov. They probably wish they had Aaron Ekblad, but they're glad to have Kucherov, who has 2 goals. Josh Morrissey also has 2 goals in this game. He has the puck right now. Could he be the hat trick hero in overtime? That's a bad turnover. We got to get back on defense because that is a defenseman that's turned that over. And relatively deep inside the zone as well. But we've gotten back, we've made a recovery, and we've given it to our star player. Number 37, Andrei Svechnikov, scoring 50 just a season ago, over 50 goals. I bring that up a lot, but it's an important stat because he scored 50 goals in this world, in this game world, and it's just proof positive that he has that potential. He's got that elite goal-scoring capability. Sergachev to Panarin. Now Panarin scores, and we were there, but it doesn't matter that we were there with him. He still found a way to get it past us, and the game is going to end in overtime in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, we just skate right by, just a wry look on our face. Another look at Panarin's goal. We shifted to the right side of the net. We just didn't get the save. I mean, that's a better player shooting the puck. And yep, here's another look at the game winner, and it's that same thing where my goalie's body twists. Watch his body. I'm going to do the overhead thing. This might show it better. Watch the body as the puck is released. He's going to twist his body inward toward the net. See his body shift inward, and this exposes more net by his body twisting toward his glove side. It twists inward. And you're going to see this shot again. I'm going to give you a nice angle of it right here. This is going to go right under the glove and over the pad. You're going to see it just right there. See the puck? I don't know if you can see it, but it's just going to find the smallest of gaps. Yeah. Hard loss for the team. Obviously, that's a hard loss for the team to absorb, but without my mistake, which I said coming to this menu, I might forget about it, but I haven't forgotten about the first goal that I gave up in the game. Tough luck on that play. It's my fault. Should have been a little less careless with the puck, I guess. I can't remember Kucherov's second goal. That's the problem. I can't really remember how we got beat on that one, but you can't really blame me for that goal. The Panarin goal, that's a great player in tight. I did everything right. I even moved my goaltender toward the glove side to make a save. Got beat by a better shot. We're going to lose 38 in the line score. That sucks too. We're going to go down 1-0 in the series, but we're going to fight back hard. Sucks because we definitely outplayed Tampa in that game, and we've got nothing to show for it. We're trailing in the series, and I had a rough game. I've lost a lot of line score out of that game. Clearly, I'm going to be the guy going in the net in game 2. We just got to play a little bit better, but I don't really have any problems with that game aside from the mistake to start the game out that led to Tampa's first goal.